Hey guys, what's going on? Happy Wishbone Day. Today, May 6th, is the official international, global, worldwide Day of Awareness for Osteogenesis Imperfecta. That's brittle bones. That's the bone disorder that I have. For those of you that may not know, I'm sure you might know by now. And today, what I wanted to do for Wishbone Day was I wanted to educate a little bit. And the best way for me to do that right now for you is to actually read a portion of my book. In the book, I have a section called Breaking Down Brittle Bones. So what I figured I would do... What's up, Neil? How you doing, my brother? Good to see you have joined the broadcast. I'm hoping some more people will jump on. But again, what I thought I would do is read from the book, because this really is kind of what I feel is a good synopsis of what OI is, and can help to just educate some people on what OI is, what brittle bones is, because a lot of people just think, oh, it's just brittle bones. Oh, you just break your bones easy, but it's a lot more than that. So anyway, check it out. I got my yellow shirt on. We wear yellow today for Wishbone Day. I got my yellow coffee cup mug. I'm drinking coffee in the afternoon. What time is it? Oh my god, it's like the evening time and I'm drinking coffee. I'm going to be up all night. Anyway, maybe I'll get to some writing, because I'm writing a new book. Anyway, check it out though. You can get this book right now. And if you purchase this book during the month of May, portions of the proceeds are going to go to, I'm going to donate portions of the proceeds to organizations that support research and clinical care for children and adults that have OI, because it's very important that we have research to just keep trying to find new ways to combat this bone disorder. And it's also important that we provide support to adults and people that are older with OI that may need it, and just clinical care, just figuring out how to do things correctly, how to stay strong, how to prevent injury and all that. I mean, that's what this book is about. It's about getting healthy and staying healthy with OI or not. So this is one way to do it. So by purchasing a book during the month of May, you're not only supporting the book, you're supporting other organizations that support OI and the people that have OI. So please go to the link. It's in the description of the video, and purchase a book. Right now, I'm going to get to reading. So if you guys have any questions while I'm going, please feel free to post it and I will answer your questions. But like I said, so this is near the beginning of the book, and this is a section called Breaking Down Brittle Bones. So here we go. Breaking Down Brittle Bones. I understand there are quite a few people reading this book that don't even know what osteogenesis imperfecta is or what it does to the body. That's why I wanted to put this section in the book for anyone who needs a quick start guide to OI. If you have OI, or you already know what it is, you can skip this section. I don't know why I tell people to skip this section. Or, better yet, read through it, because I may mention something that you don't know, which is important, because a lot of people claim they know a lot about OI, which I thought I did, but then as I started doing research, I was like, man, there's a lot that I don't know. And even from what's in here, I guarantee there's more. We all learn something new every day. This could be the new thing you learned today. How cool would that be? I'll tell you what it is. I'll give you a quick history of the disorder, explain it in simple terms, what it does biologically in the body, and then touch on some treatment options. The last point is important, because as you read through this book, I want you to get a good sense of how I'm working in alternative ways to disable my disability. So let's start at the beginning. What is osteogenesis imperfecta? The actual words osteogenesis imperfecta, just as many other medical terms, have their roots in the Latin language. Osteogenesis imperfecta literally means imperfect bone formation. Pretty simple, right? This is a hereditary disorder caused by a collagen abnormality that ultimately causes fragility of the skeleton and deformity of the bones. Since it is a collagen disorder and the entire body is made up of collagen, many other organs in the body can be affected: the heart, the lungs, and other organs. Now, even though OI is a hereditary disorder, there have been cases of spontaneous mutations occurring for people with OI. And I'm one of them, actually. I don't think someone in my family line had it. I still have to do some research like down my family tree, but I don't think anybody had it. I think I'm the only one. Okay, back to the reading. With that said, OI is classified as a rare disease. Now, in the United States, in order for a disease to be classified as rare, the number of affected people needs to be under 200,000. OI affects between 25,000 and 40,000 persons in the United States. So that's 1 in every 10,000 people. Now, there's such a wide gap in these statistics due to the fact that some of the less severe cases of OI go undetected or are not recorded. So many people that have like type 1, like I have, or a type 4 even maybe, we may not even detect it. Some people don't even know. They just kind of break bones a little bit kind of throughout their life, and then they just go through life and they don't even talk about it. So that's why these numbers can vary so greatly. The basic characteristics of OI include, but are not limited to, okay, multiple broken bones from non-traumatic events. This means breaking bones from doing simple everyday tasks or movements. Everything from lifting something to stepping and landing your foot in a weird way, which I've done both. Blue sclera, right? Okay, the whites around the eyes. Now, I don't have this. My whites do not have this. The white area around our eye is called the sclera. When someone has OI, the white can have a blue tint to it. Now, this doesn't occur in everyone with OI and can depend on their severity. One interesting fact that has been discovered amongst the OI community is that when the blue becomes stronger or more apparent, that usually means that a break is coming on, that a fracture is coming on. How crazy is that, right? Now, most OIers will proceed with caution when the whites become more blue at any given time. So, I mean, imagine that. Like, you can tell just when it starts to get darker blue in your eyes that a fracture could be coming on, that it could mean that something is going to happen. So, you got to be really careful at that time, right? You got to watch out. Okay, continuing to read. This is reading from the book. For anybody that's joined recently, I'm reading a section from the book to give some education about what OI is so that you know, because today's Wishbone Day. All right, next. Short stature. Now, because people with OI have multiple fractures and different types of deformity, this is dependent on severity. Our statures are usually on the shorter side. I personally have type 1, and I'm only 5 foot 1 inches tall. That's on a good day. Now, the heights vary, but the majority of OIers are shorter than average size. And then also deformities. The majority of OIers, even in the mildest cases, will have some sort of deformity. It may not always be visible or noticeable, but for the most part, this does occur. With more severe cases, the deformities can be very extreme and cause or create issues with mobility and other bodily functions. So for me, I have a short trunk, my arms are longer, like super long, and also my legs are shorter and skinnier. So, you know, my hips are kind of built a different way, so I walk with a slight limp sometimes. So yeah, these are little things that can happen. All right, according to Dr. Eric T. Rush, shout out to Eric Rush right there, assistant professor of pediatrics, internal medicine, and orthopedic surgery at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. Whew, that's a mouthful. There are 18 types of OI. 18! When it was first discovered, there was only 4. These types, I lost my spot, sorry. There are 18 types of OI based on the combination of molecular and/or phenotypic distinctions. Wow, now we're getting technical. The types are not classified by severity, but by this mutation type. What this means is that the classifications are not in sequential order based on severity. Type 1 is mild, while Type 2 is the most severe and deadliest form. Type 3 is severe, and Type 4 is closer to Type 1, and so on and so forth. There is evidence in medical literature of a fragile bones disorder dating back to ancient Egyptian times. There are bones of an Egyptian child dated somewhere around 1000 BC that have signs that the child may have had fragile bones due to the stature and deformities in the bones. How cool is that, right? Also, there was a man called Ivar the Boneless, who was a great warrior and army leader in 850 AD. He was said to be very short in stature and to break his bones easily, but he still was doing great things. even though I'm sure he was responsible for killing a bunch of people. But anyway, the term osteogenesis imperfecta was first used in the Handbook of Pathological Anatomy, written in 1849 by Wilhelm Vrolik, professor of anatomy at the University of Amsterdam. Hence me not being able to pronounce his name. Wilhelm Vrolik. So what does OI do in the body? Now this is important. How does it work biologically? This is where a lot of people ask me most of the time. So in normal bone formation, collagen, which is a protein, is produced by the body and it begins to braid together. These braids then stack together to form the bone matrix. Now we can think of bone matrix as a kind of framework, right? Now once the bone matrix is complete, two other cells come into play. There's the osteoblasts and the osteoclasts. Osteoblasts are the cells that make more bone within the bone matrix by attaching to and filling in the framework. Osteoclasts, on the other hand, actually take the bone away. This process of creating bone and taking bone away is known as bone remodeling. So that's something that happens in our bodies. Everybody, we have this bone matrix, right? And then osteoblasts are kind of filling all that in and creating bone, and then osteoclasts are taking it away. And this happens constantly. Now, our bodies are constantly in this process. In someone with OI, the defect starts at the collagen level. Now, this is where it gets interesting. The braid of the collagen is malformed. Because of this, as the collagen stacks up, the framework becomes unstable. With an unstable framework, the osteoblasts don't have a solid place to attach to, so new bone cannot be formed. No matter how many new osteoblasts are introduced, there simply won't be a suitable foundation for them to create the new bone. That's why when people suggest, and thank you for your concern, that someone with OI should just drink more milk or take extra calcium supplements, that's not necessarily going to help us. Now, at the writing of this book, there is no cure for OI. And I put that in there because this book's going to be around forever. So, like, in 1,000 years, you never know. Someone's going to read this, and they're going to go, oh yeah, at that time there was no cure, but we have the cure now. Now, the main focus, since there isn't a cure, the main focus and concern is to reduce fracture rate and increase bone density as much as possible. One treatment that has been introduced is bisphosphonates. Now, which assists in decreasing bone loss by taking away or disabling the osteoclasts, the cells that take bone away, to give more room for the osteoblast to create more bone. This treatment has shown good results in children with OI, but it's not the end-all and it doesn't work with everyone. Another treatment is using hardware. Inserting rods, plates, and screws to hold bones together has been very successful for many people with OI. These help to keep the bones in place when a fracture occurs, which in turn helps to expedite the healing time. You'll learn about my hardware soon. Oh, okay, yeah, I talk about it later, but I'll tell you what I got going on. I have 4 pieces of hardware in my body. I have 4 steel rods. 1 in each of my femurs, which is my thigh bones, and 1 in each of my tibias, which is my shin bones. And I've had those in since I was a kid. My first one was when I was, I think, 7 or 8, I want to say. And then the others came quickly, and then I've had surgery after surgery to have them replaced after I grew out of them. And one of them is really cool. It's a telescoping rod, so it's kind of supposed to grow with you. And it did grow with me for a little while, but then at some point it got detached from my knee because it was in my tibia. So it got detached from my knee and then just kind of started sliding, like it wouldn't grow anymore with me. But it didn't grow I didn't grow too much anyway, so that's okay. All right, so another important form of treatment is looking at physical exercise and nutrition. What do you know? Which is what I've personally been working on. With nutrition, maintaining a healthy body weight, getting enough protein, vitamin D, vitamin K, and looking at various supplements is beneficial. With exercise, bones actually become stronger and gain density through resistance training. And increasing muscle mass and strength helps to protect the bones. The more physically active someone with OI can be, the better. So that's that's where I end that section about breaking down brittle bones, because that's the most important part for me. It's about being physically active and understanding that. I've never heard of vitamin K being good for us. Michael, no, absolutely. Vitamin K is essential. Look it up. Do your research on vitamin K. Definitely K2 and all of that. It helps to create bone. It helps to give more bone density. So definitely, like, look it up. It's all in spinach is like one of the biggest, I think, vitamin K. And in kale also, those two veggies. So definitely look that up because it's very good for us. Vitamin K is essential, definitely. So vitamin D, vitamin K. I mean, really all the vitamins, man. We got to get them all. But again, physical activity is super important for us. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I'm trying to get people to see that, and I want to get people moving, because a lot of, especially us with OI, because we've been breaking our bones and we're in pain a lot of the time, just getting into physical activity is the tough part. Like, that's the biggest hurdle, because we're just so used to being careful. We're so used to, like, watching out and wanting not to break again, because that shit hurts. Excuse my language, but it does. And even though eventually, like, we break so much that it gets to a point that it doesn't hurt for us, that's just our pain tolerance getting higher. But believe me, it still hurts, and that's what we're trying to avoid, right? Oh, thank you, Allison. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, definitely get a copy. Get a copy. You know, so what I'm promoting with Disable Your Disability is all about physical activity, and especially with those with OI, because I feel it's super important, and really to anybody. So it's for everybody that has OI, so I can show them through example. Hey, look, you know, I did it. I've become stronger. I've actually been able to do things, and I've noticed times when I've slipped or even fallen, and I didn't break anything, which is a miracle, right? Knocking on wood. And it's just because my bones are stronger and my muscles are stronger, so I'm more protected. I mean, that's the whole point. That's what we're trying to get to. So, you know, you don't have to be exactly like me, and that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just think about physical activity, because it is important, and resistance training, like lifting weights and lifting any sort of weight when you have OI is a good thing. I have a blog post about that that's on my blog. I'd love for you guys to read that, so definitely get on my email list and go check out the blog, because that's important. And so that's what I'm doing with the book. You know, I'm trying to get it out there, trying to get that info. So for all of my friends that have been watching, or if you're watching the replay, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody. And if you're new, thank you for joining me today and listening to the information about OI and what osteogenesis imperfecta is, because it's a lot more than brittle bones. And, you know, there's a lot of children that have it, and there's a lot of adults that have it. And my goal is to help every single one of them. So please pick up a copy of the book. Portions of the proceeds all this month of May are going to go to some different different organizations that I support that will help people directly, that are going to help kids by helping their parents. They're going to help provide money for research, and they're also going to provide clinical care and support for clinical care for adults that have OI, because as we get older, it's really important to understand what it's all about and how we can stay strong and live healthy and happy lives for as long as possible. So with that, thank you so much for joining me. Happy Wishbone Day again. I will see you tomorrow. Now, this whole week, starting today and all the way till next Saturday, is OI Awareness Week. So I'm going to be talking about this more and giving some more information as we go throughout the week, and just, you know, doing what I do. I'm going to be reading out of the book a little bit more later this week also. So, yeah, that's it for today. Happy Wishbone Day. We'll see you guys later. Please share this video. Please like it and comment, because that helps it get in front of more people. And with that, I will say peace. Later.